Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Slow day today. Um, let's head over to the SPY and I can show you. So pre-market, if you look at the SPY, it was kind of an inside day. The open was 383.66. The low of yesterday was 383.50. So it was quite close to the low of day. So we were looking really for the SPY to break the lower day from yesterday and move lower. And as you can see on the daily, it's got all of this room down here, all the way down to this double bottom here at 372.90. So 373 really is the next support on the daily. Head over to the Qs. Same kind of thing. So yesterday we had a red bar, and then today you can see right here was an inside day when the market opened. Chopped around, but yeah, it's mainly been bearish today. So yeah, so going into the market with a kind of inside day bearish kind of move. The Qs looked more bearish than the SPY. Other way around, the SPY looked more bearish. The Qs was more of like an inside day. As you can see, the Qs opened kind of in between yesterday's bar, where if you look at the SPY, see it opened up kind of right at the bottom of that yesterday's low. So we did expect the SPY to move lower. And yeah, so if we head over and I just quickly show you the 2-minute charts, you can see the SPY had an initial move up, quite nice move up. Had a 2-minute 3-bar play here, and then we had pull back, kind of kept that range, and then went lower, and kind of just consolidated, kind of based out at this point here. Look over to the Qs, same kind of thing. So it had a little move higher, and then as you can see, it just went lower and lower. So that's kind of been how the markets have been today. Quite bearish. As you can see, we had quite a few on our longs, quite a few on our shorts, and yeah, just really not finding that relative strength, relative weakness that I look for when I trade. As I just showed you, let's change that back to the SPY, and let me just show you. So when the market was starting to go higher, I was looking on my short list to see, oh, you've got Expedia. I was saying, oh, is Expedia looking weaker than the market at that point? No, it wasn't, as you can see. QCOM, nope. NIO, nope. MA, nope. LI. So as you can see, that was kind of the problem we had, is a lot of the shorts were just going higher with the market. So I couldn't find any relative strength, relative weakness, and then the opposite, when we had this big move down from the SPY, I then turned my attention to the long plays, looking for relative strength. And as you can see, not really anything on INMD, Gov, just, yeah, that dropped. LUV was nice. As you can see, it had the relative strength over here. Let me just enlarge it. So it had that initial move up, and then as the Qs and the SPY started to come down here, you can see it kind of stayed, had this big bottoming tail, came straight back up. That's really nice. That's what we like. We like to see buyers stepping up. So as the sellers come in and they push the stock down, the buyers come straight back up, and as you can see, as it kind of got down to the 38 area, the buyers went, nope, not having that, and it went straight back up, pushed it right back up here, consolidated, dropped right back down to 38 again. So it's gone straight back down, touched that support now, which is nice. You go, are we expecting the buyers to come in again? Yes, they did. And we broke over the high of day. But the problem is, the average trading range on LUV today was $1. And as you can see, it opened at 37.31. And the high of day was 38.64. So from 37.31, we could trade it up to 38.31. And as you can see, unfortunately, right here, from here to here, that is the stock's average trading range for the day. So once it exceeds that, we're then saying to ourselves, what's the chance of LUV going higher? Not very, because it's exceeded its average trading range for the day. So if we go over to the daily, you can just see an average day for LUV is normally about $1. So we go here from 35.85 to 36.93. We go over here, it's a little bit more, so that's $1.50 that day. Over here, a little bit less, 75 cents. So you can see it averages about $1 a day. You can see today it's done $2, which is perfect. And as you can see, it's coming up to this pivot on the left, right here, 38.40, and it's broken over at 38.64. So we would now expect LUV to kind of stop at this point because it's hit a pivot on the daily and it's exceeded its average trading range 2 times, which is quite a lot for a stock. So, you know, really, really nice move, but we can't trade it once it's gone past that average trading range, because then at that point you get diminishing returns on, you know, what you're trying to get from that stock. So that's always something to keep in mind. So that was nice. PepsiCo, that was okay. TSM, go back to the 2 minute, go back to PepsiCo. So PepsiCo came down and then consolidated, nothing to do with that. TSM came down. CL had a bit of relative strength, just kind of up, down, higher highs and higher lows, as you can see right here. So we had a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, kind of a double top, struggled there, but then put in this kind of 35% retracement right here, and then pushed higher, came back down. So that was nice. It had relative strength, but just not really something I wanted to trade. And Piton, again, just a bit choppy. Piton looks nice on the 2 minute over here. You could see it was breaking out, so it had this move here, and then eventually broke out over the high of day, which is at that level. It put in topping tails, which is obviously an indicator that buyers aren't stepping up at that point. So once it reaches that level, so you can see here, the high was $9.53. As soon as it hit that level, there weren't any buyers at $9.54, 55 cents. So obviously the stock then started to come back down. And as you can see, it fell quite sharply, which is not what you want to see. So that's pretty much been my day. Market's gone up. I'm looking for relative weakness. Not seeing anything on the short list. Markets then come down. I'm then looking at the long list for relative strength, and again, just not seeing anything. That's just how days are sometimes. You know, you're sitting there looking and going, you know, I'm really looking for relative strength, relative weakness, and you just don't find any, you know, and that's fine. You know, just because we're day traders doesn't mean we need to trade every day. You know, that's something you need to remember. I made some money yesterday, which is brilliant, but doesn't mean I'm going to have every day like that. We would love to have it, you know, where every day I'm making money or every day I'm taking trades. But what I've learned in my journey so far is some days you actually do better not taking a trade, because, you know, if you come a bit too aggressive on a day like today, the market will slap you around, you'll lose a bit of money, and then you start to give back your profits from the good days where you have traded well, and that's not what we want. So these kind of days you really have to SOH, sit on your hands, and just wait for your pitch. Just wait for something to come with really good relative strength. The markets are dropping and it sets up a 5 minute 3-bar play within its average trading range, and then you can take it. You know, if it doesn't work, you've done everything possible to put the odds in your favor. You know, you check the daily, that you make sure there's no support or resistance that could get in the way of your trade. The average trading range is within, so your 2R target is within that average trading range. So LUV, that dollar average trading range, if you traded it when it was up 50 cents, as long as your 2R target is within that other 50 cents, so from 50 to to that $1, then you're fine, because the chances of LUV actually reaching your target is quite good, because that's what it normally does in a day, about $1. So, you know, it's just something that you always have to remember when you're trading, that all of these different variables, you have to make sure that, you know, you're doing your checklist every day and you're going, is the pattern there? Is the 5-minute 3-bar play there? Yes. Is it in its average trading range? Yes. Is the volume there? Because with volume, you don't want to get into a stock and there's not enough volume in it. You don't want to get in it and then there's just not enough people to sell your shares at when you want to get out at 2-hour target. You know, that's something you want to, you know, kind of understand, because obviously that's where slippage comes in, you know. And if a spread on a stock's got 10 cents, you might want to get in at $50, but you're more than likely going to get in at $50.10, you know. And obviously that cuts into your profits. And then obviously if you lose on the trade, you're not losing, so for me, $50, you're losing, you know, $55, you know, that kind of thing. So that's always something to be careful of. So yeah, slow day today on Tuesday, but that's just the way the market is. And, you know, you just have to take a step back and just remember that, you know, don't give your profits away. Just sit here, just relax. You know, it's a slow day. Tomorrow might be better and I might take a trade. Same for Thursday, same for Friday. You just don't know how the week's going to go. So yeah, hope you guys have done well today. And yeah, I mean, that's it really. Again, just a slow day, you know, not a lot happening. So I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, where hopefully the markets pick up a bit, and hopefully we just find that relative strength, relative weakness that I like to trade, you know. And also, if you're new here, remember to subscribe to the channel. I do these recaps every day, Monday to Friday. Like the video if you've enjoyed watching it, and comment down below if you've got any questions. I'll happily answer them for you. And see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, take care. Bye.